and visible to you. So in this today's session, we are going to discuss what exactly you need to prepare for your personal interview for Symbiosis. Now, Symbiosis scores are out, and with the scores being out, there's definitely a little bit of टेंशन की पीआई में क्या आएगा, what all questions needs to be prepared, and generally what all things you should be well aware of before you go ahead and face your first interview. So this is not going to be like your interview, but I'm sure you would not have faced a lot of PIs before you go ahead with the SLAT PI. All right, so in this situation I'm going to help you, one, answer all your queries, secondly help you understand that what all needs to be prepared. But before that, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute, all right? Okay. So the first thing that you need to understand is that this particular PI is not going to be a very difficult one. This is going to be a basic PI. And in this basic PI, the questions that will be asked to you would actually help the person, the committee sitting, for the selection, to help them decide whether you are the right candidate for Symbiosis or not. So this is more of an assessment. In fact, there used to be two procedures. पहले VAT होता था और PI होता था. अब किस किस को डाउट है कि VAT होगा या नहीं होगा? So all those watching me live right now, Symbiosis had two processes, that is VAT, writing an ability test, and there used to be a personal interview. Now, among the two, are you confirm, are you very clear कि क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा? In case you have a doubt, do let me know in the comments and I'll help you with the doubts. So just tell me कि कब कब पीआई होने वाला है या वैट होने वाला है या दोनों होने वाला है, ये मुझे फटाफट कमेंट्स में बताओ. उसी से मुझे पता चल जाएगा कि तुमको कितनी क्लैरिटी है या तुम क्या क्या चीजें मिस कर रहे हो, एंड आई एम गोइंग टू हेल्प यू विद दैट. Now coming to, because I have kept this session to discuss कि what needs to be done with respect to PI, तो पहली चीज है कि पीआई से हमको ऐसा लगता है कि द मोमेंट आई एंटर द रूम आई विल बी आस्क्ड ऑल दीज क्वेश्चंस लाइक कि टेल मी अबाउट योरसेल्फ, व्हाट आर योर हॉबीज, why do you want to do law? Yes, these are going to be the questions, but before that there is some sort of preparation that you should be doing, because if you go directly without any preparation, you might find slightly difficult, you may fumble a bit while answering these questions. So this session is specifically for that. So people saying hello ma'am and good evening. Yeah, hi, good evening, nice to have you all guys here. So one thing is that I want you to know, I want to know from you guys whether Symbiosis is going to take only the PI, VAT, or both PI and VAT. Secondly, do let me know how you are feeling after you have seen your scores. Looking forward to join Symbiosis. Any questions that you have with respect to Symbiosis, do let me know in this session and I'll help you with all of it. Now, coming to PI, understand that PI and VAT, and if I talk specifically for PI is a selection procedure. So हम पर्सनल इंटरव्यू क्यों करते हैं, कोई भी इंस्टीट्यूट पर्सनल इंटरव्यू क्यों करना चाहता है, बिकॉज उस पर्सनल इंटरव्यू से हम असेस कर पाते हैं एक बच्चे की पर्सनालिटी को, एक स्टूडेंट की पर्सनालिटी को, एंड विद दैट पर्सनालिटी वी कैन judge whether this person is the right fit for my organization or not. So remember, it's not a procedure to kind of eliminate students, but it's a procedure to select students. That is first thing. So if you're going for PI, go with that mindset that you are going to do your best and this is going to be the selection procedure for you. This is one thing. Secondly, when you are answering questions, be confident of what you are saying, and whatever you are saying should be backed by something. So for example, अगर तुमसे ये सवाल पूछा गया कि what is your hobby, and if I say that my hobby is basketball, अब मुझसे पूछ लिया कि दुनिया का सबसे महान बास्केटबॉल खिलाड़ी कौन है जो बेस्ट प्लेयर है इन द वर्ल्ड, और मुझे बास्केटबॉल का बेस्ट प्लेयर ही नहीं पता है, तो क्या इस तरह के आंसर्स के साथ मैं पीआई में जा सकती हूँ क्या? द आंसर इज नो, आई कैन नॉट डू दैट. सो बिफोर द पीआई, जस्ट सिट डाउन, do a little bit of exercise and write down answers to certain questions. So the four most important question that is going to be asked to you to all the students, in fact not just for Symbiosis, for rest of your interviews that you would face, is tell me something about yourself. Now जैसे ही कोई मुझसे बोलता है tell me about yourself, there is a general reaction that people will start saying कि मैं इस स्कूल से पढ़ा हूँ, मैं यहाँ पर रहता हूँ, मेरे 10th में इतने मार्क्स आए थे, 12th का रिजल्ट अवेटेड है, and that is it. But see, what you have told is just a part of it. But when you are going ahead and answering question that tell me something about yourself, tell something actually about yourself. What do you like? What are your hobbies? What do you do in pastime? What generally motivates you to do things? So if somebody asks me that what is like tell me something about myself, so I will give them a brief about where I have studied from. Now when I'm saying that where I have studied from, I can add certain details. So suppose for example, if my father had a transferable job and I moved from one place to another and I studied in different schools, so मैं यहाँ पे ये add कर दूंगी कि my father was in this particular job and because of that he used to move from cities, and because of that I have studied in different schools. अगर मैं एक ही शहर में हूँ और मैंने अपनी पूरी स्कूलिंग एक ही पर्टिकुलर स्कूल से की है, then I'll say that my father and mother are native of this place, they are working here, and since childhood I have studied in this particular school. The advantages of doing that is that if I know everybody in the school, people know me, I have a really good connect with the teachers. On the contrary, agar aisa koi student hai who has moved school, they can go ahead and say that because I have moved different schools, I have friends in all the cities, I know people in different cities, I have made friends, I have met people from different areas. So whatever you are saying, just add one or two sentences to it, one or two a little bit of information to it, that will enhance your answer. Coming to apart from school, what do you do? So ऐसा कोई स्टूडेंट नहीं होगा जिसने स्कूल में academics के अलावा कुछ किया ही नहीं होगा, ठीक है? तो कुछ ना कुछ तो तुमने किया होगा. Maybe you are in good with sports, or you have participated in dance competition, MUN, singing competition, you may be playing an instrument. Do add that information to it, because that tells that not just academics, but you have actually certain interests जो तुमने over the time pursue किए हैं. अब ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि तुम एक ऐसे बच्चे हो जिसने ये सब कुछ pursue नहीं किया. Then think about things that you generally like or you would want to do, and then add that information to your answer. So your general information about yourself should be a bit about your schooling, a bit about your hobbies, and you can also go ahead and give information a bit about your family. So you can say that I have an elder brother or a sister, he is studying there, she is studying there or working there. If you are a single child, you can mention that. If you have a younger brother, sister, then you can tell. In case you have a cousin studying in the same school, same college, then you can say that my cousin also studies in Symbiosis Law. And generally make your answer in such a manner that it does not sound कि तुमने अपने 10th का school बता दिया, अपनी एक hobby बता दी, and done. Just keep adding a little more information here. If you have a pet, you can mention that I grew up with a pet. So anything additional that generally in your life is, you can mention that. Now the most important part, what not to mention when you are telling about yourself. You need not necessarily mention about your caste, mention about your religion, mention your political views, or anything which is controversial in nature. So you don't want to go ahead and tell about yourself and then say कि मैं तो hardcore XYZ party का supporter हूँ. So I can do whatever for this particular leader, I'm going to die or do XYZ things. No, not such information. You just have to mention good things about yourself and refrain mentioning things which are not required. So this is the first thing. Coming to when you are preparing a question to answer that what are your hobbies or what do you do in your leisure time, because this is one question that majority of the organizing committees, they want to understand from the student that if you are actually not studying, what are you doing? Are you mindlessly scrolling Instagram reels or watching YouTube videos, or there's anything fruitful that you are doing? So here you can mention all about your hobbies. But remember, as I mentioned already, whenever you're going and mentioning about your hobbies, ensure that you know something about the hobbies. You cannot go ahead and mention some hobbies which it's like just a bit about it and not. तो अगर नहीं भी पता है कोई बात नहीं, अभी रिसर्च कर लो, तुम्हारे पीआई से पहले ये प्रिपरेशन कर लो। तुम्हें अगर सिंगिंग में इंटरेस्ट है, कोई इंस्ट्रूमेंट प्ले करने में इंटरेस्ट है, उसकी थोड़ी हिस्ट्री, ज्योग्राफी, थोड़ी इंफॉर्मेशन गैदर कर लो, सो दैट व्हेन समबडी आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन यू शुड बी वेल अवेयर, बिकॉज यू डोंट नो कि तुम जिसके साथ इस इंटरव्यू में हो वो इंटरव्यूअर को कितना नॉलेज है उस चीज का। व्हाट इफ यू से दैट आई रियली लाइक कर्नाटिक म्यूजिक एंड द पर्सन टर्न्स आउट समबडी हु रियली लव्स कर्नाटिक म्यूजिक, और अब एक तो इंटरेस्ट मैच हो गया एंड नाउ द पर्सन वांट्स टू नो मोर अबाउट इट, सो दैट शुड नॉट हैपन। सो जस्ट इंश्योर दैट यू आर रीडिंग अ बिट or you are well prepared to answer at least a bit about your hobbies. That is another thing. Coming to the next part, if you are asked that who is your role model or what motivated you to choose law, then you should have some answer prepared to it. Reason being, obviously there is something which would have triggered you, something which would have made sense to you. That is when you decided that you want to go for law and you appeared for the entrance exam, and now here you are appearing for the PI. So if somebody is asking you that what motivates you for law, you can talk about the justice system, you can talk about how you want to help others, how you want to give back to the society. Now this might sound a very cliched answers कि सब लोग यही बोलते हैं, बट इसके अराउंड तुम्हें थोड़ा बहुत कुछ चीजें you can make stories out of it. So for example, you can mention that there is a situation, or there's this one time when you saw a particular person hurting a stray animal, and when you decided to take action against it, you realize that the laws to actually protect stray animals are very weak, and that is when you realize that you really want to be in this field, make a significant change so that you are able to help the voiceless, or in case you have seen some unjust happening, so you want to drive change towards that. Or maybe you have watched some movie or some TV series, and that character inspired you to be that. So whatever name you choose, whatever person's name you take, that this person XYZ helped me or motivated me to go ahead and choose law, then at least know a bit about that person, and you should have some story to corroborate for that. So these are the three main questions. That one, tell me something about yourself, about your hobbies and your leisure, and what motivates you, and what generally, who is your role model. So these are the three questions that you should be prepared. Another important question that you should be well prepared is the current affairs. So because you are going ahead for a personal interview for a law college, you should be well aware of certain current issues happening in the society or at the moment in the country. So may it be related to law or maybe not related to law, but they might ask you ki if something of this situation has happened, are you aware of it, what are your thoughts on it? So here you will get a chance to go ahead and actually tell about your thoughts, what you think about the situation. So be aware of the basics, be aware of the things which are generally happening around. So I see here the question, Symbiosis Noida cutoff. So with respect to cutoff, we'll do another session and we'll be discussing cutoff. So this particular session specifically is for PI. Does IMS provide CLAT PG program? No, not at the moment. We only focus on UG. Maybe in future if we do so, but not at the moment. Now, coming back to Symbiosis, if you see, once you have got your scorecards, you will have to go ahead and book your slots for PI. Before you go ahead and book your slots for PI, ensure that you're well prepared, plus you're giving yourself some time to prepare, and then you book your slots. So be mindful of that. Now, another question that you may be asked, and in fact somebody, Vaibhav, is asking here, the strength and weaknesses. Now, देखो, ideally तो if as a 17-18-year-old, if somebody asks you strength and weaknesses, well, this is something that you are actually in a kind of you're experiencing it, or you are kind of in a situation where you really want to explore things to see कि what is actually working and what is not. But क्या इसका आंसर नहीं देना है, वो ये है कि मेरी तो कोई वीकनेस ही नहीं है और सब चीजें मेरी स्ट्रेंथ है, my entire family is my strength. No, do not go ahead and say answers like these. If you are asked about your strength and weaknesses, tell them something concrete, tell them a part of your personality. So if you are very good with your oratory skills, tell them that this particular personality trait of mine is my strength. This gives me a lot of confidence to participate, this gives me a lot of confidence to take care of things, this also gives me a lot of confidence to present myself. So here, if you have some sort of personality trait, you mention that. Your weaknesses could be your laziness, your weaknesses could be you get easily distracted. So when you are talking about your weaknesses, do also tell them that what you are planning to do in future to ensure that you overcome that weaknesses. So for example, if I say that when it comes to taking care of myself, when it comes to taking care of my physical health, I have zero motivation to go ahead and work out, I have zero motivation to do any physical activity. But having that weakness, knowing that weakness, is that all? No. The second thing is, I will mention that I am trying my level best. I understand that I am not meant for a 1 hour workout, but I am starting slowly, I am going for walks, I am going for a short 15 minutes workout. So I am adding something. So whenever you are talking about weaknesses, do add some additional information to that. Coming to which college to choose for LLM, well, that will depend what all colleges application you have filled in and what all options you have. Because if you want to go ahead with LLM, you will have to the procedure for the CLAT and ALET is already over. And if you have appeared for CLAT and ALET, well and good, your marks will able to decide which college you are getting. If you have not applied for that, then whatever applications are remaining, you will have to figure out that way. So this is like a very broader answer that I cannot discuss here. Reason being, the only thing that I have to understand is why. That is basically that what all options you have, and accordingly why and which college would be the best for you. Okay. All right. So coming to the point that these are the basic questions that I want you to one, start writing it down, think about it, and certainly you will get stuck. So whenever you are answering these questions, do have it prepared, do have certain pointers made, and based on those pointers, go ahead for your personal interview. So I'll see you with another session to discuss all other things about all other law entrance exams. Till then, thank you and bye.